Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Losing with Bob. I can say that this time I'm not playing in this game, but I mean, someone's going to lose, so it's still Losing with Bob. So I'm excited to be able to bring you coverage of the other semifinals. So I was in one with Saved by Him, which is already over. Right, trying to say less ums. I remember this. So I'm not going. I feel like I'm probably not spoiling it for you because if you're following it, you've probably already seen those and seen that I lose anyway. So I am very interested in seeing who wins and loses this one, of course, because winner will go on to play Saved by Him, and I will get to play against the loser in the third place match. Also, it's just fun to watch these games. So here we are for game one. It's Ari versus Quadratic for game one. Ari is playing the Free Peoples, and Quadratic is playing the Shadow. Ari decided to take Gandalf as Narya and Pippin in the Shire. Reasonable start for sure. So here we go. Quadratic allocates one eye and rolls that. And yeah, now they remember the token. I think it's pretty reasonable. They agree that forgetting to pick the token doesn't mean you need to re-roll. Like everyone takes the muster token. I think early on when I was experimenting with the corruption strat, I tried taking the Nazgul movement one once, but I've never seen anyone else do it, and I did not enjoy that choice. It didn't feel great. Okay, so a pretty good start for the Free Peoples, I'd say. A few movement against just one eye. Obviously, it's a good military start for Shadow anyway. Okay, so the Free Peoples passes. Barad-dûr army moves down. Fellowship moves and is safe. We use the token to muster Isengard to war. Flying along army some more. Fellowship moves again and it's hit. And it's Smeagol. So, which is a little bit annoying because now it's not as easy to kill Gandalf. You have to get Smeagol out of the way, but it's still better than being revealed and having the Witch King put on your turn one. So, tomato, tomato, as they say. I know it's supposed to be tomato, tomato, but no one says tomato. It's just tomato, tomato. Ari says similar to what I said. It's a double-edged sword, tomato, tomato, pick your poison. Okay, so Quadratic brings in the Balrog. That makes sense because with those three musters, then you can get Saruman in the Balrog. And the Balrog's die isn't the best, but you're still on 9 dice for turn 2, which feels pretty cool. Well, why am I not viewing Ari's hand? I thought I'd already viewed it. Okay, there we go. Oh, this is bad. When did it unview his hand, though? Because I remember looking at it before, and he had different cards. Okay, well, please hold. I'm going to try to sort this out. Okay, so this is a really weird bug. I was viewing the Free People's hand, and then when he uses a Palantir to draw a strategy card, then it unviewed the hand for me. Like, it just shoved me out of viewing the hand. So I reloaded the file and viewed to here, and the same thing happened again. So I guess I'll bug someone about that bug and see if we can figure out. Well, we'll see if it happens again. It might just be a weird glitch with this spot in the file. So anyway, we know that these 3 cards are in fact not the cards that he had. He started with We Prove the Swifter and the Red Arrow. And then I have no idea what this new card is that he picked up. So I guess we'll go on living more or less in the dark. I'm pretty sure Corsairs and Lidless Eye are accurate, though. Okay, so he continues moving armies towards Gondor. He musters Gondor down a step on the political track. In comes Saruman. Fellowship moves again, which I think makes sense. Like, you want to kill Smeagol. Hopefully you get a 3 and not revealed anyway. Or you could just be safe. Yep, 50-50. That works. And they continue moving armies. Wow. Okay, sometimes the game just tells you what it wants. It gives you Balrog is come and Shadows on the Misty Mountains. Like, hey, psst, you should kill Galadriel. She's pretty creepy. Go get her. Okay. So obviously he doesn't have the Narya die anymore because Gandalf was not the guy at the end of the turn. Yeah, and I really don't know if these are the right cards that we're looking at here. So anyway, we'll just look at the Shadow cards and ignore the Free People cards until they come up. Okay, so this turn we get the opposite. He rolls 3 more eyes, and then the Free People's player rolls 0 movement. So, oh, what a hoot! Yeah. Okay. So here we already see that the card is wrong. Okay, so apparently this card is actually every little is a game because he's putting 3 regulars down there and is drawing another card. So, okay, so he musters the Southrons down to war, right? Because he has Corsairs here. So getting to get Dol Amroth under siege before you put Gondor to war by attacking Osgiliath makes a lot of sense. Finish coming to war. He uses a ring to move the Fellowship, and is safe. Continue shuffling armies along. Again, it's the wrong card. Apparently guards the Citadel, so that's great. So here come the Corsairs. Dol Amroth is under siege. And you might as well keep mustering up in Minas Tirith because, yeah, you have the time. Oh, Sauron is not at war. Oh, that's a pain. Yeah, Minas Tirith is going to be a real pig. Because that was going to be attacking Osgiliath and then attacking Minas Tirith, but you still had to muster Sauron to war here. So if the Free Peoples wants, they could muster another 2 times in there. I mean, there's only 2 more elites, so is that really worth it? But it'd still be cool. Depending on what they roll next turn, of course. They might just roll 3 Palantirs and only 1 muster again. Ironically, now the Free Peoples card shows us Guards of the Citadel. Okay, so there's Grond and Return of the Witch King. So they allocate 1 eye, because they have to. Roll 0 more. And now they roll a couple movement, so that helps. And yeah, Smeagol's turned out to be a real pain. That's 2 turns of Narya he's denied now. And with not getting hit, there's no opportunity to lose him. Like you could... sorry, still trying to say less ums. You could use this character die to separate Gandalf and then turn him into Gandalf the White, but then you're not moving at all against 1 eye, and that feels bad. Okay, so think about mustering. Oh, great, this is the wrong card, too. Jeepers, man. Oh, that doesn't feel good. Okay, we can just go ahead and ignore all these cards. But wait, Corsairs was right, though. So weird, just after that turn where it glitched me out of looking at the hand, all the cards have been wrong since then. That's so weird. Anyway, we get to just enjoy this game on the cards. We're living in suspense here. Okay, Shadow draws a card. Quadratic attacks Osgiliath. I think that makes sense. You want to wrap up Gondor now that you've poked that bear and set them to war. So he gets 1 hit. The Osgiliath guys get 1 hit back. He retreats to Minas Tirith. So yeah, it feels like he's definitely planning on sticking around for a field battle then if you're retreating to Minas Tirith. Yep, mustering another elite in there. That makes sense. Kind of nice keeping 1 elite in the force pool so that if you drew into Imrahil of Dol Amroth, then you could play it. Okay, in comes the Witch King, which I think makes sense. It is unlikely anyway that the Fellowship is going to get revealed this turn. With 2 movements, I'm hitting at 1 at 6 and 1 at 5. So, and also, like, you've got a good military start, and the Fellowship isn't exactly flying. Like, you might as well just go whole hog on your crazy military start. Okay, so he musters a leader to Minas Tirith. I think that makes a lot of sense. He goes ahead and attacks Pelargir. Oh, we're thinking. Okay, yes, we do. Go ahead. No card against Pelargir. 1 hit, 1 hit. That's about fair. Pressing. Ooh, okay, we're having fun. Neat. So moving to West Rondor and threatening to take Umbar. So this is one of the things I really don't like about the Lord's expansion, is that if the Free Peoples takes any victory points early, then you allow the Shadow player to get the Mouth of Sauron earlier and get up to 10 dice plus a Keeper die. So that feels terrible. So unless you actually win with the Free People's military victory, it's a very bad idea. Which is annoying, because it used to be a lot of fun to quick sneak a stronghold like that. And the Shadow player can risk saying, well, you have 2 points. I'm going to try to keep going fast and winning. Or they can waste their time taking it back. So that used to be a fun tactic, and now it's kind of ruined. Anyway, enough of me complaining. So he moves in the 1 at 6 and gets hit. Oh, that's just typical. So yeah, away goes Smeagol, of course, for the 3. You like to see that value. It's still a bummer that you don't get Gandalf the White this turn, though. Okay, then we move leadership around to bring leadership to Dol Amroth. I think that makes sense. We want to blow it up before Círdan's ships can show up, or Imrahil. And move the Fellowship again, not hit. And then we attack Dol Amroth. Okay, so we don't know what these cards actually are. Probably a Deadly Strife, because he rolled, 2 4s and a 6 and called it 3 hits. So I'm guessing Deadly Strife. Yeah, and RE633 is also 2 hits. So that's neat. I wonder which Deadly Strife it was. Okay, so moving on to the next turn. Of course, Gothmog's die doesn't actually stay because the Black Captain's already here. So I guess he just brought in Gothmog to have as the leadership and for his mustering ability, which is still very nice to have, especially if you're expecting it to be a long siege against Minas Tirith, or if you're expecting to just sit on it, then it's nice to have that leadership there. Okay, and I would love to talk about which cards are being picked up and thrown out here, but they're all meaningless, so that's neat. Okay, 1 eye and rolled, and another 2 movement, so Been there. Um, yeah, Shadow player tries to take a turn, but unfortunately, it is the Free People player's turn. And Ari brings in Elrond. It's always interesting which one you bring in first when there's no visible threat made towards either one. I think most people usually get Galadriel because there's a character face on it, so it's better for moving. But at the same time, when you're on step 6, there's a good argument to be made for Elrond because you're certainly looking to use his ring ability to get to Mordor sooner. In theory, he could even do it this turn. If you used Elrond's ring ability to reuse a character die and you didn't get revealed at all, and then you could also use Galadriel's ring on another die to move a 4th time this turn, that would be quite lucky to not get hit or revealed on any of those steps, though. Because, let's see, Smeagol's gone and a 3 is gone, so the hunt pool is, more likely to reveal than not if you get hit. So, anyway. Attack Laemden. Right, continuing on the quest to wrap up Gondor, but again, it's not actually Flocks of Crabine, so... Did he play another Deadly Strife? Oh, no, maybe it's probably a Cruel as Death, if it's 3 hits on Laemden. Yeah, because it's a character card. And he, again, rolled 2 4s and called it 3 hits. Okay, so he starts mustering in Dol Guldur, probably thinking about either the Dew Line or Lorien. Anyway, maybe Rohan. Actually, that's not insane. Okay, so yeah, we muster more in Dol Guldur. Always feels good putting together a big stack of elites like that. Headed towards Lorien. Fellowship moves and is safe. And yeah, there's the Elrond ring usage. Makes sense. We pivot some Nazgul around. Yeah, I think it's smart to not try to blow up Minas Tirith right now. Like, it's not going to get much stronger than that. Like, why waste your time here now? If you really want to take it, you can take it later. It'll be the same strength. There's not much more to muster to it. Okay, Fellowship moves again. It's safe again. Again, we don't know what card this is. Okay, this is the Many Kings to the Service of Mordor, I think is what it's called. Anyway, 2 regulars in 3 different Southron settlements. Fellowship moves again, is hit this time, and it's a 3. Ooh, nice. That's very peachy. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. You can now use Galadriel's ring to, what do you call it? Move a 10th time. Yeah, that feels very good for the Fellowship. Again, we don't know what card this is. Okay, but Rohan mustered, so that's the red arrow card that's one of the cards we actually knew he had back from turn 1 when we could see the cards. Right, I see. So he is attempting to use a character die to move the army from Moria because it has leadership with the Balrog, but this is a weird rule set that comes up in Lords of Middle-earth. With a non-moving minion, which is just inactive Balrog or Saruman, they provide leadership for attacking with a character die, but if you're just moving into the region, it doesn't work. It's a weird ruling, but it's what we've got. Okay, so he just goes ahead and attacks Lorien. That's reasonable. So he naturally already uses the last ring to move again. And of course he gets hit. It's a 0 reveal. Okay, so this is a little bit of a problem, though. Like, Galadriel is not in play, and her ring is gone. So you're declaring through Moria here. Like, if you draw an eye for the Balrog, Strider's just gone. So that could slow you down a lot. Balrog first. It's a 2. Okay, that's fine. Random Boromir. It's traditional Boromir. And then an eye for the Moria. So you're very glad to get that way around, not the other way around. Yeah, because an eye would have just deleted Strider, so you'd be in a much worse pickle. Okay. Oh yeah, Narya finally came back and is gone again. So the downside, of course, is that he's starting in Mordor turn 5, which is great, but he's out of rings, doesn't have Galadriel's die or Gandalf Narya die or Gandalf the White, but he does have Elrond. So I guess you can still use Elrond's die to hide with Strider ability, but it's not the best Mordor start anyone's ever had. But still starting turn 5 is great. Quadratic words better not enter Mordor. It's dangerous. Let's see, what does the hunt pool look like? That's something we can actually look at. So it's Shelob and some ice and some normal tiles. So it's not terrible. Not great, but not terrible. Yeah. It's a lot more terrible if you roll no movement. Yeah. What are you going to do? And no Will of the West either, so you can't even get Gandalf the White. And even if you had Mirror of Galadriel, you couldn't do it this turn because you don't have a ring to turn one into a character die and then play Mirror of Galadriel. Oh, that's frustrating. That's very frustrating stuff. That being said, the military isn't exactly flying yet, so there's still hope to hang on here, but that's a frustrating start to Mordor for sure. Good thing you have Strider as guide, so you can hide anyway. Otherwise, he'd be taking a corruption Ferb sitting there not doing anything. So real slap to the face there. Okay, Balrog is active. Again, we don't know what card he's actually playing here. Let's go Sauron. Regular. Oh, I see. He was going to play Shadows on the Misty Mountains, then realized he only had one Sauron Elite to bring in, and then decided to do it anyway, which I think is a reasonable choice. Okay, so he hides the Fellowship. Oh, interesting. Okay, so they are not going to join Lorien. They are going to hopefully go kill Elrond or some such. In comes Galadriel. We're off to see Elrond. Okay, so let's see. He's advancing the north. What happened here? Oh, he advanced the north all the way to war. Oh, okay, those Fear Fire foes. Interesting. Not sure how that's going to help here. I mean, you could muster up something in Bree and come in, maybe play Help Unlooked For. That's not impossible. Also, I guess if you just have nothing better to do anyway, then you might as well. Yeah, because, I mean, what are you going to do? You could muster Rohan to war to help defend. The Dew Line doesn't feel like it's going to be attacked, and it would feel bad to muster the Elves to war now since they're about to be attacked. So, yeah, never mind. That makes sense. Okay, so we attack Lorien. Now the Elves are at war. That seems interesting. I thought if you're going for Rivendell, you should put Rivendell under siege first so that he can't muster more in it. Now you're letting him muster in Rivendell. Anyway. Oh, no, I guess it works the other way, too, that if you put Rivendell under siege now, then he could also use Galadriel's ability to muster in Lorien. Right. Okay, this makes perfect sense. Okay, so we have no idea what these cards are again. Okay, 2 6s, though. That's always good. Against 2. Sorry, I am still trying to say less ums here. So we press. We attack. 3 hits. That's good. Or he gets not a lot of hits back. Okay, so that was not the most glorious defensive Lorien there's ever been. Just roll 6s. It works. 10 out of 10. Can confirm. So now we're going after Rivendell. That was a cool... This was looking strong right now anyway, this splitting the armies idea. That being said, if the Free Peoples has Kindred of Glorfindel, then this 3-2 is going to have a really hard time beating a 0-4. But tomato, as I say. I say quadratic. I think correctly chooses to allocate 0 eyes because the Fellowship didn't move. Corruption is certainly not how the Fellowship is planning on winning the game right now. Well, with the Fellowship being in Mordor at 1 corruption and having 8 hit points of companions and Strider still in there, the Fellowship would have to have pretty bad luck to lose by corruption. Whereas militarily, he certainly has a shot anyway. Okay, so allocate 0, rolls 1, and they roll only 1 movement, but it's a Will of the West, so you could also get Gandalf the White instead, which I think is what I would do. That's a frustrating choice, though, for sure. Yeah, and you also have to pick right now in case your opponent has Day Without Dawn, which we can kind of see that he does, but of course all these cards are wrong, so we have no idea. Yeah, so he brings in Gandalf the White. I think that's the right call. Because it feels bad not moving and taking a corruption, but like we said, like he's probably not going to lose by corruption, and you really need those. Like even if you used it to move now, and of course you can use Strider's ability to hide, you still have 4 steps to go next turn, so it's probably going to take another 2 turns. So you're getting 2 dice back from that. You might even need 3 turns to get through Mordor still, so I think that makes sense. Okay, so he uses a ring to pivot Nazgul. Okay, so we're mustering up in Dale. Yeah, I guess you see there's a Nazgul here, and there are these armies, so they're probably not going after Minas Tirith, so they've kind of claimed their 5, probably 7 points, so they're looking for 3 more points, and this going after Dale and Woodland Realm or Dale and Erebor is certainly an option. So mustering up in Dale makes perfect sense. So we have no idea. Okay, this is probably Dreadful Spells attacking Rivendell, and they get 2 hits, so that feels really good. Using the Balrog's die to attack Rivendell. That makes sense. Again, we have no idea what these cards are. Apparently, something nice happened, though. I'm going to guess that advantageous position actually canceled a Devilry of Orthanc or Relentless Assault anyway. Oh, no, wait. It's the Free People's Player saying nice. So maybe it successfully dodged it. Maybe it's a we come to kill dodging an advantageous position. I don't know. Anyway, 2 hits to 0, though. That makes sense. The cards don't seem to have affected what happened there at all. So no card. Probably Cruel as Death then. Yeah, because he's forfeiting 2 assumably points of Nazgul leadership, and a 6 and a 5 are hits. So yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so Rivendell also was not the most glorious defense that has ever been seen. And suddenly, it's funny how military victories can sneak up on you like that. Because it's certainly, like, when the Free Peoples got into Mordor that quick, it felt like they had an edge. But then military kept going, and the Fellowship did not. So here we are. Okay, so looking at Helm's Deep, which seems like a tough choice to me anyway, because like the Free People's player does have these H's, so these 2 elites and this leadership is all going to be in the stronghold. So that's not a free stronghold by any means. I think I'd be a little more tempted to head towards the Dew Line. Okay, using Saruman's ability to muster up some more. Maybe he has Rage of the Dunlendings though. Who knows? Muster it's in Dale. Back forward the Vizon. Presumably scouts. And then Ari brings the troops into Helm's Deep. Makes perfect sense. Attack Helm's Deep. Mustering some more in Rohan. Attacking Helm's Deep again. Funnily enough, there's a very good chance that this is, in fact, we come to kill. Okay, so quadratic rolls. Oh, it's not, though, because that 5 was a hit, apparently. So 3, 2, 0. Rough stuff. Very rough stuff. Your swords have been replaced with Nerf bats, yeah. Good stuff. Okay, then more cards are played. 2 hits are gotten. 1 hit. Oh, nope, 3 hits back. Okay, again, I have no idea what's happening. So it's kind of... This is a kind of... Like, you know how Tolkien always narrates battles from the Hobbit's perspective? Like the Battle of 5 Armies, the Battle of Pelennor Fields. Like, most of the time it's from a Hobbit's perspective. That's kind of what this feels like. Like, I feel like just a little guy sitting on the side. It's like, oh, dice are being rolled. I have no idea what's happening. Oh, look, everyone's dead. That's sad, you know? Okay, anyway, the attack presses on 1-6. It presses some more. There's another 6. Okay, so it's over. Oh man, that would be so depressing. Getting into Mordor, then over the next 10 dice, you roll 1 movement. Well, actually, I guess more like 8 dice because the last die was Elrond's, which doesn't have a movement phase. So out of 8 dice, still only 1 movement. That's the Will of the West you needed for Gandalf. So that early Smeagol, he made a big difference because he might have had Gandalf earlier, and this might be a different story right now if it had been not Smeagol. It's a troll. Okay, so 0 eyes again. How many times do you see that where in Mordor you allocate 0 eyes 2 turns in a row? I don't think I've ever seen that before. Okay, there we go. There's some movement for the Free People's player. Too little, too late, though, probably. Yeah, that's exactly what he says. Huh? So in theory, if you had rings, then you could maybe still pull this off. If you had Elrond's ring and another ring, then you could pull a Strider 6/5/6 and move 5 times in 1 turn. But yeah, very unlikely stuff. And he's got so many attacks. Good luck keeping him off 1 more point this turn. Okay, so he uses the ring to muster more in South Rune. Yeah, this army's going to come and sit on Dale, and there's nothing you can do about it. And that army's headed towards the Shires, just for good measure. Okay, so the Ents show up to kill Saruman, so that's cute. Doesn't help a lot, though. Oh, right, yeah, Ari's going ahead to play another card. Okay, he plays the, what do you call it? I will go alone, and chooses to separate Gimli for 1 corruption healing. Like, might as well. It'll help you get down to Gollum faster. So, like, in the unlikely event you survive to see another turn, might go slightly faster. Okay, so shuffles leadership around, attacks Dale. I wonder if the plan is that the Minas Tirith army is going to come out and retake Pelargir. That's probably the best shot he's got. Anyway. Quadratic rolls like a savage. He just rolls 3 6s right off the bat to blow up the army in Dale. And he gets 3 hits back, but it doesn't really matter. Oh, no, not the whole army? Oh, okay, I think he mustered another elite in there that I didn't notice. So, okay, never mind. 2 regulars and a leadership escape. But again, good luck. Good luck being that. So, yeah, the plan is that the army for Minas Tirith is coming out, and they're going to use 2 dice to fight their way to Pelargir and take it out. And the last dice is going to be to move the Fellowship, which I think makes sense. Okay. So he also has 3 dice, so this army can also go and attack the Shire. So yeah, odds are very, very in Shadow's favor at this point. Okay, so he attacks Osgiliath. I think I might actually just run through Lasarnak if I were him. But then again, he can move these troops over there to hide in Pelargir. But then again, attacking Osgiliath means they get to retreat there anyway. I don't know. It's tough stuff. Okay, so Ari rolls 3 hits. I'm not sure what's happening with the dice here. Also 3 hits. Okay. Yeah. So he retreats and eliminates the, 1 extra orc? Yeah, just 1 extra orc. I think that makes a lot of sense to retreat. Okay, so along come the troops. We're attacking Pelargir. Yeah, no idea what the cards are. Some hits. Apparently it was a no quarter, I think. Okay, rolling 4 hits. That helps. That helps a lot. Ooh, this is tight. Ari rolls 3 hits. Now he rolls 6 as well. Quadratic rolls 3 hits back. And very tight stuff. So the 3 people still have the leadership advantage, but the Shadow player still has 1 hit point advantage. So, these things really come down to the dice. Like crazy swings happen. 4 hits, though, that helped a lot. Especially 0 hits back. Okay, 1 hit back. Yeah, that. Okay, so he'll probably win this, but the Shadow player will still probably take the Shire and claim the military win. I think that makes sense retreating. Just in the off case that you did lose the Shire, then next turn you're also poised to lose Dol Amroth if you stick around and this whole army dies. So. I see. And now Woodland Realm is also trying for a desperate sortie to take Dale. I think I would just give up and move the Fellowship at this point because you're praying for a miracle both ways. Like 2 miracles isn't very likely to happen, and you might as well move the Fellowship and hope that your 1 miracle does happen. I guess 2 miracles doesn't make sense, but anyway, it's hopeless either way, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so he rolls 2 hits, so that helps. It's an endless stack of meat there, though, so good luck. Okay, so 2 more hits to 3 hits. Yep, there it goes. Yeah, and now... I guess Quadratic is bothering to kill the Shire. Like, he could walk into Woodland Realm and take it, but it's... I don't know. The Balrog being in a fight with Pippin in the Shire is a pretty funny thing to happen, so I appreciate that. And he rolls a 6, so yeah, there it is. Okay. Good stuff. Yeah. If he'd rolled like 2 or 3 swords both turns, then he'd have had a shot. But yeah, turn 7 military victory is hard to beat, though. Just the sieges went well when they happened. Like Dol Amroth was well played to do Corsairs early, and Lorien and Rivendell just absolutely imploded. Helm's Deep was also a bit lucky, but like he did a good job mustering up, and then a good job going for cities at the end. So, well played by both players. Looking forward to game 2. No, wait, let's look at statistics. Okay, so -1 on wills, -4 on characters. That's about right. That's the last 2 turns you see right there. Combat dice, +9 on 6s. Yep, that helps. -11 on 5s though, so that does hurt. Like I'd still rather have all 6s and no 5s, but the -5 still hurt. Minus on eyes and Palantirs. That makes sense. Yep, that's a good recipe for a turn 7 military victory. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time.